In this video, we're going to look at Stemplots, histograms, and Dotplots in StatCrunch. So here I've opened a data set from my computer, and the first thing I'm going to do is make some histograms. So I'm going to go to the graph option, I'm going to choose histogram. First I'm just going to use the Northeast and Midwest data. We're just doing one variable, so I'm not going to worry about group by. I can do frequency or relative frequency. I don't recommend density. It's sort of beyond our scope. So I'm just going to do frequency right now. StatCrunch is usually pretty good with the classes and bins, so I would just leave those as optional. We'll talk about some times when you might want to change those in the future, but right now I would just leave them as optional. And then all of this next stuff you can just leave at the defaults. Really, you just want to come down, you can choose your color if you want, and then you want to put your axes labels in. So this is where you want to put your title in. So a good option is to put your units for your variable on the x-axis. The y-axis I just leave as optional because then the computer will automatically fill it in based on whether you're using frequency or relative frequency. So then I'm going to go ahead and compute that, and then I've got my histogram. Again, remember, if you arrow over one of the bars, it will give you your frequency, and then it will give you your upper and lower bounds. Notice it's using the interval notation, so the square bracket means we're including the 3, and the parenthesis means that we're not including the 4. Remember too, if you accidentally click one of these, it's going to highlight the data that's involved in that particular bar, and you don't want your graph to look like that, so to get rid of that, you just come over here and clear. The next thing I'm going to do is the stem and leaf plot. So again, I'm going to come over here to graph. I'm going to do stem and leaf. I'm going to choose my data again. So I'm going to do the Northeast and Midwest. We don't need the where. We're, again, just using the one variable, so I'm not going to group. You can leave your leaf unit as the default. What I want you to do is for outlier trimming, for right now, we're going to say none. So make sure you change this to none. There's really no other options to worry about in there, so we're just going to compute. And then I've got my stem and leaf. Usually you would just kind of copy and paste this into something else where you can do a better title. StatCrunch doesn't do a great job with the title here. It does tell you that we have a decimal point at the colon and our leaf unit is 0.1. So these things are really telling us the same thing. So this is representing the 3.8. So although it doesn't give you a specific key, it's giving you that information to make the key right here. And finally, we're going to do the dot plot. So again, we're going to go back to graph. We're going to choose dot plot. I'm going to choose that Northeast and Midwest data again. All of this stuff can stay just as it is. We're not grouping at all, so we don't need to worry about that. You can change your point size if you want. I would change this so that it does not allow points to overlap. We really want to be able to see that visual of the dots making sort of that bar shape. Again, these markers and dividers we can leave alone. And then we want to fill in our titles again. So putting in my descriptive title and then my units on my x-axis, then we can go ahead and compute, and then we've got our dot plot. If you wanted to make the dots bigger here, you could do that. So that's your point size for your dots, so I can make those a little bit bigger if I would like.